Hey guys, it's Anya, otherwise known as Pink Sweets here on YouTube, and today is my monthly collab with the Sweet 16 collab group. So everyone in the group will be linked down below. Not everyone is participating in this collaboration. We kind of just do whichever ones work for us based on our schedule and stuff like that. So I will have a list of everyone that is participating, but I think I'm going to list everyone down below regardless because they're all still part of my family and I love everyone. So, and I definitely recommend checking everyone out because everyone in the group is amazing and they have done previous collaborations and they've done an amazing job. So anyhow, this collaboration though is love that palette, hate this shade. So basically we had to take 5 palettes that we absolutely love and choose one shade out of that palette that for whatever reason doesn't work for us. For me, it was really difficult because I don't have a lot of palettes where I'm like, oh, I just hate that shade, but I kind of base it on either shades that don't work as well as I thought they would, or shades that I just tend not to gravitate towards for whatever reason. So we're going to go through those shades right now and I will show you. So the Linda Hallberg palette. I have used this palette on camera one time. With my first impressions, I was not necessarily a huge fan of it, but I used it somewhat afterwards and I do like the palette and I just have a thing for it. Like, just looking at it makes me happy. I love the packaging. The color story is beautiful. My palette's a little bit messed up, but the color story is beautiful. However, some of the shades are a little bit tricky to work with. So, namely the shade Illusion. This one right here was not what I expected, which is why I chose this one. And it is a silver shade, but it feels almost like sandpaper. So it's a very strange consistency. And I just find it a little bit difficult to work with. It's almost like working with a glitter. So that's why I chose that one. So that's number one. The second one is the Certified Dynasty palette. Again, I love all these palettes. And in this palette, I found that this blue right here, it looks so beautiful and intense, like a royal blue. And when you put it on your finger, it looks okay. But when you swatch it, it's very patchy. It's hard to get it to show up. And it's the same thing when I put it on my eyes. So that's why I chose that one. Then my third palette, I chose the Manny MUA Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag palette. And this shade is not necessarily the shade's fault. So this is the shade Kiki right here. This shade I chose because it's much, much lighter than what you think it's going to be. Maybe, I don't know, than what I thought it was going to be. However, when I did go back and watch Manny's video, he did consider it a transition shade, so it wasn't necessarily supposed to be the most pigmented, but it still irks me a little bit. So there's that. And then in the Sugar Crystals palette, a lot of these are greens because I could have found other palettes that had other shades, but I do want it to kind of be a cohesive look somewhat. So I chose this shade right here, and that is the shade Mint Choco. I expected it to be really, really bright, beautiful mint green, and it just kind of wasn't. So there's that. And then last but certainly not least, from the Colored Rain Vivid Pigments palette, and I have swatches all over my fingers and hands, just so you know, the shade Level Up, which looks like this bright, beautiful, amazing green. And you know what I mean? You can tell why I chose these shades. So we're going to attempt to create some kind of a look with it. I do think they're going to look better on the eyes than they swatch on my arm, but I still don't think it's going to be the best look, but we're going to see. So everyone in this collaboration, like I said, will be linked down below. Please go check out all their channels. I can't wait to see what shades they chose out of which palettes, because we are supposed to choose some of our favorite palettes, and these are definitely some of my favorites. So it'll be fun to see what everyone's favorite palettes are and what shades they just don't like or don't work for them in those palettes. So hate is such a strong word, right? I don't necessarily hate any particular shade in the palettes that I own. But like I said, I chose the ones that just give me some trouble. And if you're wondering why my eyes are stained, I will link my video up here. And I also have some staining on my face, which will look like I have the measles or something. But I did a birthday collaboration for my friend Michelle. I will link that video up here. And I used a liquid lipstick that gave me little stained red dots on my face, but that'll be covered up with foundation, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so the first shade I'm going to go in with is going to be Level Up from the Vivid Pigments palette. So that's the first shade that's on the chopping block. So that's the dark green. And I'm telling you, this shade just isn't good. The rest of the palette is so pigmented, like so incredibly pigmented. And this particular shade, I mean, you can build it up, but it's a pigment palette. So it shouldn't take that much building up. You should just be able to one dip and, like, as an example, this is this shade. The blue right next to it, look at the difference in vibrancy. You know what I mean? So it just annoys me. And it annoys me especially because green and blue eyeshadow is my favorite eyeshadow to work with. So I really did want it to be a good shade. But it was not. So let me know down below if there are any palettes that you have that have a shade in it that you just don't like, to work with. I had a few more that I could have chosen from. One of them being the Natasha Denona Tropic palette. I have the full-size one, and for the most part I do like that palette. I just don't love the Limoncello shade from that. I expected it to be like a really vibrant, like shimmery yellow, and it just was not. So I almost chose that one. But then I just decided to stick with kind of this color scheme. I guess I only have one shimmer shade. Okay then. So I'm just packing that on as much as possible. Now I know that I have made it look pigmented, but it took a lot of building. So now I'm gonna take, I'm trying to think if I want to put the blue on the lower lash line. I think so. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So now I'm gonna go into Mint Choco on the same brush, and I'm really grabbing as much as I can, and I'm also trying to kind of pack these shades on, because now I did make Mint Choco work in another video, and it's not bad. It's just, again, compared to the other shades in this Sugar Crystals palette, it's just not the most pigmented. So you can build it up, but it takes quite a bit, and it's just not my favorite. I did a look with this palette using that shade, and I really packed it on, and I made it work. But when it's a pigment palette, you want it to just kind of go on. So now I'm going to take the Manny MUA Life's a Drag palette, and I'm going to do Kiki. And I'm just going to use Kiki kind of above the other shades to kind of blend them out. Just a little bit. And I know that I'm taking it up pretty high, but that's okay. I like to take my colors pretty high up to the brow bone. So if you don't like that, then just don't take it up quite as high. Although I don't know that anybody wants to recreate a look with shades that I don't like. I don't know. Maybe these are shades that you love. And if these work for you, that is wonderful, because I mean, and like I said, I can't really say that they don't work for me because I've made them work. I just tend to not gravitate towards them because they're not as easy to work with, I guess. Okay, so now I'm going to take my glitter glue. We're going to go in with that sandpaper shade. Oh, I don't know. It's very gritty and very glittery, which glittery isn't bad, but when it's not creamy and smooth and it's just kind of a sandpapery, I don't want to say mess because it's a beautiful shade, but it just, you know, it gets all over the place and it's just sandpapery. And I love all these palettes and I love all these brands, just so you guys know. I mean, that's the point. I had to choose palettes that I love. Okay. Now we're going to go into Illusion, which is that silver shade. I'm going to try to do it with my brush. No. That's another thing. I don't like shades that only work with my finger because I don't like using my fingers when putting on eyeshadow personally. I know some people love it or don't mind it at least, and I personally just don't want to have to put a shade on with my finger to make it look good, which it does look good with my finger, I have to admit. And I know some shades are just like that, but I think that's also why I don't use the Huda Beauty. Well, one of the reasons I don't use my Huda Beauty palettes is because a lot of the shades, like in the original, what was it called, rose gold palette, you had to put it on with your finger in order to get it to show up. A brush just would not pick it up, and I didn't like that. But this shade is looking really good with, I'm still having to kind of dig into it, but it is looking good, I have to admit, with my finger. So that is just what I'm going to have to do to make this shade work. Okay. And every single one of the ladies in this collab group mean the world to me. They've become like my family on YouTube. I love them. And they're so talented. If you haven't checked out our previous collaborations, we did a musician-inspired collab. And we also did a Halloween look, so Halloween in July, so definitely go check out that. I have playlists on my channel of all of them, so if you go to the section of my channel where it says playlists, you can find all their videos there. So let me go do my base really quick off camera and we will do the rest of my eyes. Okay, so I am back, and yes, I'm wearing a different shirt. I just felt like the purple was throwing me off with the green, and can I just say that for shades that I hate or just don't like in the palettes, I think this could be one of my favorite looks so far that I've ever done. I don't think I've ever done a green and like silver. It kind of looks icy white, but I don't think I've ever done this color combination before. So that's why these videos are so cool, because you find those things out. So the only shade we have left to work with is from the Certified Dynasty palette, and the shade is called Emperor. It is this blue right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take Electric Daisy, which is this vibrant lime green ColourPop eyeliner. I don't think that my foundation covered up my measle looking spots, but that's okay. I don't think they'll show up in photos, or at least I hope they don't. But that's what happens when you put liquid lipstick on your face. Sorry, my eye went wonky there. Whew. Okay. And I'm going to take a little bit of... Where did it go? Where did it go? I don't know where it went. I'm going to take a little bit of this. It's like a darker green. And I'm just going to put that over top of it. This is from NYX, and it's actually a lip liner. Sometimes I use it as an eyeliner. Okay, now I'm going to take this Juvia's Place brush, which just has like, kind of comes to a point. And I'm going to take the shade Emperor and I'm going to load it on there. And then I'm just going to run that on the lower lash line. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this shade still is not my favorite. I mean, it's working okay, but not okay enough. And there's so much dust in the pan, and it really stinks because Certify is amazing at making blue shades. I don't know what happened with that particular one, but it just missed the mark, you know what I mean? Alright, I made it work. I have a lot of fallout from it though. And my palette, see all that dust that kick up in that palette, or in that shade? Not my favorite thing. Okay, so now I'm going to take the Linda Hallberg palette again, and I'm going to take that silvery shade and I'm just going to put that in the inner corner. And, okay. I really actually ended up liking that silver shade. And the look, to be honest, but you guys will have to let me know what you think down below. I just think for shades that I didn't initially like, it turned out pretty good, except for the blue. I mean, I don't think the blue looks bad in this look, but I definitely think I have way more pigmented blues. Okay, for my lips, I did not think this through. Oh wait, yes I did. I like pairing green looks with like darker vampy lips. So this is from CoverGirl, no, Maybelline. And speaking of shades I don't really like, this is kind of patchy. But we're gonna make this work too, because then I can dump it in my box and I don't have to use it again till I go through all of my liquid lipsticks. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, or you have yet to enter my giveaway, that will be linked in every video from here until the giveaway ends. I will have my video and Debbie's video linked, and Debbie is also in this collaboration. I do not like that. I mean, I kind of like it, but I just feel like this is the Super Matte Ink, Super Stay Matte Ink in the shade Composer. And it's just hard to get a sharp line. I mean, I have a hard time with dark lips anyway, but I think it's all right, right? Is it okay? I don't know. Should I blot it and see what happens? That did not help. Okay, I'm gonna set my face and I'm gonna use my highlighter. Oh my gosh, for 1 second I thought, am I not recording? I wonder how that Linda Hallberg shade would be as a highlighter. I don't mind glittery highlights, so I'm gonna give it a shot. It's definitely going to be glittery. Yep, but it's actually pretty. I think it would be less glittery if I hadn't just sprayed my face. I don't know, let me know down below what you think of these lips. I feel like I want to change them. So Sorry, I don't mean to keep looking at myself, but oh my god, my teeth. Let me change the lip really quick and I'll be right back. Okay, even though this is a funky color, I think I like it better than the original one. I like it better than this one. It is Abused from Jeffree Star, and it is my little one. Bless you, Jeffree. Speaking of Jeffree Star. And I just think it kind of draws the blue from the eye look. So let me know down below which lip you liked better. I'm putting both of them in my box because I used both of them. So they go in here now. It's getting fuller and fuller by the video. So this is my final look for the 5 palettes that I love and 5 shades that I hate from those palettes, or that I was not previously able to make work, but I did it in this video. I don't know, I really like this look. Let me know what you think, and definitely go check out everyone down below. All the information of everything I've talked about, my giveaway, my lipstick challenge, everyone participating in this collab, previous playlists, everything will be down in the description box down below, so you can go check out everyone very easily and show them some love. Subscribe to their channels, let them know I sent you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everyone for collaborating with me. Thank you to you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.